So, yeah, hi everyone. We are back with a very special conversation tonight. And the goal is really for you to learn about our journey, um, how race has become the project we are super passionate about. And it's going to be us, me, Jacob, and Renu for now. And probably at a point we are going to have Anastasia joining us as well. She just showed up, so I think I will try to add her to the stream. And well, our plan is really to start out with a little bit of introduction around how we got connected with race. And after that, we would love to share with you something that we learned on the journey, something that we are super enjoying about this journey, and something we are excited about that's coming up, lessons learned. And in the meantime, feel free to ask questions. We are more than happy to hear your questions, to read your questions, to answer your questions. And yeah, while Anastasia is joining, how about we just start with us?
Yeah.
How do you remember us like connecting, and what do you remember about race and it being born? What is one moment that you would like to share with everyone out there?
Right. Renu, how do you like to go first?
Okay. So, what I remember, meeting Beatrix initially, and both of us being passionate on education, lots of discussions, how education all around is, and what we can do, and so many other topics, and of course on teachers and how education is taken by students and parents. How do they see education and what is needed? So that was the main focus initially. And then Corona happened. So all of us know that Corona has brought, I mean, with all its bad and not so happy things, and with all the trials and tribulations, it also brought a process of new learnings, which is the online digital media and the connections which it created during those times, the ideas. And we just kept on throwing the ideas that we need to do it, and with education taking a complete turn, where children have to be at home, teachers have to start innovating and finding new ways. And and that was the time I guess that we thought that this is the time when we need to now bring something which is of which matters to everybody, and which is good for all the entities, all three key holders in education, so that everybody can get benefited. And meanwhile, our vision, collaborative vision of doing something for education. So that is race is what all about. So
Thanks,
yes, thank
Renu.
you for giving me this opportunity to talk about it. It brings back memories.
Yeah, it does. Well, Beatrix, you can go next.
Okay, for me, while I was listening to you, Renu, I realized that um, when whenever we met, there was something that linked us to education in the conversation, experiences as a teacher, or helping the youngsters, or helping parents, and something with adults. So, and the more I got to know you, I remember I realized how how selfless you are, and how important for you it is to support the, the system as a whole, and not particularly your own initiatives, your own project, your own business, but mainly bringing something to the world of education. So when we started having more discussions around, let's make something real about race and let's take it more seriously, let's give it more of a finite structure, then it was very obvious, that we are going to really connect well on this level. And I remember with Jacob, we studied a little bit together. I like saying that for neurolanguage coaching. Since then, he has become a guru, and I'm still like a student learning about neurolanguage coaching. But that was a new way for me. That was the introduction to the whole world of coaching, that education doesn't have to be the way it is, it can be reformed. And when we started those conversations last March, I look at Corona as the accelerator. It basically, what it did, it accelerated our journey immensely, really, really immensely. Like when we started out just like having conversations, okay, what is it? What can we do? And then we found ourselves at the end of the year being really serious about having an organizational structure to it. And then from January, when we started having more discussions, from March, when we started the social media, it was all kind of showing that, no, it's really nice and it's evolving super well. And then we started to get to know those people interested, coaches and parents, and it just started opening up more. So where we are right now, I think it's really that community that Jacob already felt like way much before I did. That it's really the sense of community, belonging to a community of like-minded people where everybody believes in the cause primarily and only puts his or her own interest in the background. Yeah, we got to know many different people, but these are the type of people who we connect the most, the best, and we really can create super fruitful collaborations. Those who believe in the cause first, and they can put their own interests in the background. So yeah, I remember you, Jacob, saying very early on that what I like about R.A.C.E is the community. And it really dawned on me not a long time ago that actually what really is important about this whole initiative is the community, is the feel that this is one, and there is so many different levels of oneness in it, but this oneness is the strength of it. How about you, Jacob? What stands out for you?
Now I still do believe, and I have to agree with you here, both of you here, that for some reason, like the sense of community, I think is one thing that has kept us going, and it's already been more than a year now. And I know that for some a year is probably nothing, but I think given everything that has been going through this year and what was going through last year, I think we have done quite a massive effort surviving last year, and the pandemic probably was. I'm not going to say something good happened, no, because I think a lot of people suffered a lot from it. But just to move forward, not to get stuck into that twist and like trap of anxiety. Just to move forward, I think one good thing happened from last year was R.A.C.E. And as you've said, Beatrix, like it was like absolutely an accelerator. You know, the pandemic happened, or it was like at the beginning of it, and we were just happening racing in a way, trying to get race up and running. And look at us now.
Yeah.
It's already more than a year. So yeah, absolutely. I do. I still remember it like it happened yesterday.
Mm.
Us just meeting and building that sense of I'd met you before that, but then I was just getting introduced to the other members, and at the moment, so we were just building that sense of community at race. And God, it's been a year now, so absolutely grateful to all of you.
Yeah. It's amazing to look back and see where we started, and how much focus we have right now.
Yeah,
What a huge amount of ambition we have, and the inspiration we have from those people we meet. One of
yeah,
the things that really inspires me a lot when people get to know about us and what we are trying to do, that it's not a coaching and education business supporting one particular group, but kind of bringing them all together into one platform and raising awareness of all of it together.
yeah,
They get so excited for minimum two reasons. One is the sense of community, that finally I found people who are on this track, so I can learn from them, they can learn from me, and we can do it together. And the other is, I think, demystifying that myth that if you start a business in education and you have coaching, it will not be profitable. And thanks to us, I think, a little bit raising awareness of these already successful, great businesses, we can inspire those who are still feeling like, yeah, I want to do education. I really feel that's close to my heart. I'm so uncertain. Can I really make a living out of it? And that helps a lot, especially initial stages, especially young entrepreneurs, those who are just starting out. So this is something that really is a big source of, these are some sources of inspiration for me. How about you?
So if I go back, initial a year back when we were thinking and when we came out, I get to meet a lot of teachers and tutors, uh, and coaches as well, who are just in the very basic level of their livelihood, earning, and everything, and they've got vision for themselves to be doing something good and also earning and supporting their families. So, as Beatrix, you said that education and then coaching. So, how will it become a profitable business? So that was the question many of them were talking about, and pandemic has created that vacuum where teachers were losing jobs, and they have to really work hard towards earning, because they have to learn a new learning and plus managing from home, and it was not too lucrative and time consuming, and they don't know how to. So all these, when you observe and when you talk to people, so that collaboration support was required for them. It is not that they can't do, but they don't know how to start that first step, which
Mhm.
is so crucial and which requires a push.
Yeah,
So that is where race comes, I guess, where we can collaborate, we can support each other. It is not possible that one person can do everything when you don't have support from outside world. And if you can get support from community, your own, that
yeah,
makes you feel achieved. and you are there for society, community, and that
Yeah.
feeling of that education I have chosen, it is not something which I should regret. It is something
Yeah.
the community is good. Yeah,
Yeah.
it should not be that something which has not given me that chance to be entrepreneur or a leader or to create
Yeah.
my business, but with the ethical business.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
So yeah, that's what I guess. Uh, we tried to focus on that and we tried to create, and now today a year has passed and we are working on it. We have, yeah, reached. We'll talk, you all will talk, of course, definitely, that where we have reached and what we are doing. Yes, Jacob.
No, and I that's well said, Reno. And as you're talking, I think one point is people will have to meet probably other experts who have already gone through the journey, and I do believe you are one of them. So in this
Oh,
case, yeah. So in this case, they will learn lessons from lessons you've already learned. Probably I wouldn't say the mistakes, but probably the mistakes that you've got experience from. So you be there to give them those lessons. So yes, I love it when you said education is passion. So for us and for the other educators out there who've chosen education, not to regret it, that's absolutely beautiful and wonderful thing, to start business in it and not just have it as passion, but yeah, as a career to earn a living out of it. So yeah,
Yeah.
and this is what race is. One of the things that actually race will be there for you.
Yeah. And building on that, Jacob, this is really one of the things. So when we mentioned that, for beginner coaches, it might be a good place to learn from experience when belonging to a community that are looking in the same direction with education. But also when you mentioned we know teachers leaving the classroom, sometimes because they wanted to, sometimes because they had to. What we are doing, and we have a teacher training course coming up in September, is refueling, like really fueling that passion that maybe Corona put to a test. And some people felt like, oh, it's just going to be too much and it's already too much. We just want to reconnect and help them reconnect, remember what made them choose this, how can they ignite that passion and just bring it back to their everyday life, not only in teaching and in the classroom, but in their own life. And having said that, we have the same wish, desire, intention for parents as well, to bring into their parenting something that they enjoy, something that is hands-on, something that makes their life easier, happier, and more peaceful. And when I say we, I don't refer to us here, the three of us, but I refer to a community that feels this way, a global community that can relate to it and are happy to do something to promote this, to bring it more accessible to many. So a wonderful journey is ahead. But before we go into the future, I'm really curious to hear your thoughts on what was the little bit of sweet and sour kind of. We talked about the sweet moments, the beginning, and something that you feel like, oh, well, actually, that was something that was uh, not really a surprise, something like puzzling or something that was like, oh, that's kind of a little bit of a shock, a little bit of a, oh, if you can recall some of those or one of those.
Oh, that's
oh,
weird. Thinking.
yeah, thinking.
Yeah, thinking.
So, what I can recall was when we started, we were not uh, uh, thinking of like it is going to be some hiccups when we were just thinking about education, how to bring these three key holders. It was so great that when we got into it and we have all the ideas all there on the paper, clear, and then comes setting it up. So, setting it up, which is website, how to go across, how to connect during pandemic, and how to without meeting, because we are all habitual of interacting one to one, going and presenting ourselves, and the situation was absolutely different. So to create some social media platforms, to set it up, to day understand, learn the process of that journey was intimidating for me because I'm not a very tech savvy person. Yes, of course. But it was a big learning journey. I still remember the first time on StreamYard, I was struggling. And today I was like very comfortable and I know what it is. So it gives me a lesson that we may feel that first step, how difficult it can be sometimes, but once you cross that barrier, you are there, and you will be able to go ahead. So all the fears, all the scares, all the inhibitions, limitations, everything is in the first step. And once you cross that, the full big world is in front of you, and you can achieve and do and create anything if you really are passionate. That's what I think at this moment.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's quite a big tough question. I think I think rather than me going into details, I would say the main struggle has always been, and personally probably will always be, um, just to convince myself one, like one step at a time, that how to just go over one that particular obstacle, whether it's emotional, financial, and whatsoever. So I think during that journey, race journey, of course, at times you always think, and what's next, or you might question yourself, where we're going with this. And so long as I had those moments, and thankfully so far I've managed to go over them. So probably just I'd stop and you know probably catch my breath at every single moment, and just get over that one particular step, without worrying about the other one, and until I face it. More like not crossing that bridge until you get there. So yeah, but I do believe that it's part of the journey, any journey, to be honest. Having those difficulties. Once you move forward, you look back and you start laughing a bit nervously. That was a little bit too close. But yeah.
It's so interesting, because I can relate to both of you when you say one step at a time, and it's your own limitation, or something that you are taking that step, and you are facing yourself, and you're taking that step, you're challenging yourself. And to me, it was all about me growing from every experience. Lots of different experiences came up, um, but it was, all of them were growth opportunities. And yes, it was sometimes really about just one step, but many of the times it was kind of very natural that I know it's going to happen because I have this vision, and I believe it's going to happen. I have no doubt whatsoever about anything that can stop us. it's definitely gonna happen this way or the other, but it will be. So that was the big chunk of it. But sometimes it took that one step, only this one step. But I need to grow, and I want to grow, and I want to use every opportunity in this to grow. So it's so interesting how we are aligned. When we look at the big picture, and maybe when we break it down to small, the details, that will be different stories behind this learning, but the learnings are very, very much aligned. So that's amazing to see how much things we have in common. To our genes, to our cells, we are deeply connected, and it really shows in our examples. Having said that and approaching the end of this conversation, let me ask you one thing that you are super excited about when you think of the future of race and yourself.
Yes,
I
Rina.
should go ahead.
Yes.
I'm always so. For me, the one thing which I am very excited about is to bring it to everybody. The memberships portal opening up for race, so that the thing starts happening. People start getting benefited, and I'm so looking forward, which is going to be very soon, and we'll be announcing, of course. And yeah, so I guess I'm ready, and let's see, with all the positivity and with all the positive energies. I want to just wait for that moment when we open up and people do join us and get benefited, and whatever they are looking for, whether coaches, whether parents, students, whether tutors, teachers, and that will be the thing which I'm looking for. Yeah, thank you.
Yeah,
When
yeah.
you mean the platform, and when you said open up.
Yeah, of
You just
course.
don't want people to think that we've got a shop or something.
Membership platform, of course.
Well, I think one thing about this journey is the excitement. I get to know to communicate with a lot of individuals, coaches, educators all over the world, and it's you'll never know what these communications will bring, but it's always that one vision and consistency in bringing coaching and probably well-being to educators and learners and parents, which is quite interesting coming up now. So the excitement of the sense of adventure, I'm really enjoying it every single day. So I just can't wait. Every day. I'm looking forward to what it's bringing. So the race journey. So yeah, let's see what it brings, what more it brings in the future. We can't hear you.
Uh,
Oh, you're on
And
mute.
yes, yeah.
So I would say excitement, definitely. And platform, very excited, opening up to members. And to me, somehow this image of a starry night sky came up. I know it's the end of the day, but also it's super gorgeous when you go out into the desert, or you just like on the top of the mountain, wherever you are in nature, and you see stars kind of sparkling, and more of them. And somehow this is something that I see in race coming up, the individual stories, transformations, people realizing things, aha moments, insights. I look at them as like stars kind of popping up in the sky and like sparkling, and us being there, witnessing it, and feeling so much gratitude that we can witness it, you know. So that's something that maybe it's a night, but it's also the beginning of a new journey, which is called in this metaphor another day, a new day, a new beginning. But
Yeah.
that new beginning has to start somewhere. And this is our start. So, yeah, agree. Super exciting.
Love your vision, Beatrix. It's amazing. I just was imagining that, and it was such a gratifying experience. Yes.
Yeah, isn't it? To see people transforming out of their own free will, getting that super enthusiasm, passion back, especially at this time, and being able to offer more, to give more. Um, yeah, can't wait to see it. So, excitement! Woo!
Absolutely.
Yay.
Yes, thank you for watching us. We had one very dedicated viewer here. Thank you for being with us. And if you want,
Thank
in the
you.
comments, post what is it you are excited about for race, and what does race mean to you. We would love to hear from you if you are watching this video after the live as well. Let us know, and let's keep in touch. Reach out to us anytime. We would love to hear from you. Thank you, Jacob.
Thank
Thank
you.
you, Renu, for your time,
Thank
for your
you,
Thank you.
insights.
Beatrix. Really
Thank
nice.
you,
Amazing
both of you.
conversation.
Thank you very much.
Yes. All right. Bye
Bye.
bye.